everybody, I'm Kim from Tall Mouse Creative Arts, and today we are going to get skinny with the Mega Make and Take and use our Slimline dies to make some projects. Very exciting today. All right, so today we are going to make 4 projects with our kit, and then we're going to take a look at the kit. We're going to look at all the pieces and supplies that you need to make your projects. We're going to look at some finished projects so you know what our goal is today, and then we're going to stop and flip a table so we can begin our crafting adventure. So Jim's going to bring the camera over right here so we can unload the kit and take a look at what is in your pack. Our pack is the white envelope, so this is what you want to undo, and then you should have downloaded your project sheet. So that didn't come in it, but you're going to download it. So what is inside, you've got your coupon, which is fabulous, and then you've got a dark brown chipboard sheet, you've got a solid white piece of cardstock, you have your sticker, the gumdrop assorted colors strip in there because we're going to do a little bit of embellishing. You do have a printed sheet on cardstock. Now you've got lots of sentiments and 2 bicycles on it. I'm going to point to you guys which ones we are going to use today because you do have some leftovers, and if you didn't have a chance to cut everything out while I'm talking, you can begin that if you'd like. So I am going to use, or we are going to use the Hello Spring. We're going to use one of the Enjoy the Journey. I'm going to use that particular happy birthday. I'm going to use this particular happy birthday, and then you'll want to cut out one of the bicycle. All the rest are going to be left for you to use. We are going to fussy cut this guy out, so you can do that, or you can just cut real large if you want, and then you can fussy cut later so you know exactly where it's going to go. That is completely up to you. So one more time, Hello Spring, Enjoy the Journey, this particular happy birthday, and one of the bikes. And then your die, so you do have to have a die cut machine to do these samples today. Now this is a triple die. It is one of my favorite dies. You get a basic rectangle, which has got a nice stitched edge, and then the inside die is that particular bubble, I call it a bubble lace or eyelet lace, and then you get the inside, which kind of looks like a tray. So these you can use together, but today we do want to dismantle them. So you know, you have to twist and tear apart each one of these particular pieces. Now when you do that, if you have a challenge with that, sometimes they come off clean, sometimes they don't. You do want to take your flush cutters because they are flush and they can go up right against what you guys are doing and snip. Now sometimes you got to undo them and you have a little spur. You can use that, or sometimes you can use your files. It just depends. It's a judgment call on how big that spur is. But that die is in your kit also, and that is for you to keep creating. So flush cutters are handy if you need them. Okay, so what tools do you need today? Obviously, you need a die cut machine. If not, I don't know how you're going to accomplish this, but you do need a die cut machine. You also need some sort of paper trimmer. I just grabbed my basic paper trimmer. You can use bigger scissors, but I have my 𝐂𝐤𝐭𝐡 fine tip scissors because we're going to be fussy cutting the bicycle out. So a pair of scissors. I'm going to be using a tape runner today, so I showed my tape runner, but sometimes people like liquid glue versus a tape runner. The adhesive is up to you. I will be using the tape runner, so just an FYI on that. And then I'm obviously finishing up my pop squares. So I need some foam squares because the bicycle is going to have a little raise, a little bit of lift to it. So I'm finishing up my sheet. I'm using squares. It's up to you what you would like to use. Something I did forget, if you want a piece of twine or ribbon, because one of the pieces we're going to finish it off with that. I'm using inks, and I use all types of inks. So today I've got 3 different color inks that I'm using, but these need to correspond and connect to whatever paper you guys are going to do. So what paper, this is something you have to provide. So you want 1 or 2 different colors, solid color cardstock, and 1 or 2 different types of prints. So these are just the selection I picked. This is what the samples are going to look like, or what they did look like when you guys looked at the projects, and what we're going to look at in a minute. So these are the color schemes that I'm going to work in. You get to choose whatever you would like, and if you want to ink, it's optional. It's not you don't have to do that inking. That's completely up to you. If you do, just match your paper so they stand out and blend. Okay, so let's take a look at now what projects we are going to complete today. 4 projects. We are going to complete one completed folding slimline card. That's going to be layered up. Nice birthday card. We are going to complete one title strip, which you can use for a layout, you can use for a card, you can use and swap that out, or you can find another use for it. We're going to make one card, and I call it a flat card. There's no fold to it, but it's got a nice stability, stable base on it. And then that's where we're going to use the bike, and then that's going to be a 3D element. So I call that a flat card. We can make it 2 different sizes too, which I'll explain in just a moment. And then we're going to make this little gift enclosure. Now, I haven't tested if it's, I'm sure it's large enough to do a gift certificate or a little gift card in there, but we're going to make this little enclosure. That's where I've got the twine. And then if you notice, I have a little tea bag in there or a little piece of chocolate, so it can be a little gift enclosure. So we're going to use all 3 dies today, and we're going to mix and match that. So if you are ready, we are going to, you guys are going to look at this real quick while we flip our table, and then we get ready for our crafting adventure. Okay, we are back. Our table is flipped and we are ready to get skinny making our slimline cards. Okay, Jim's going to tilt the camera down and we're going to be looking at an area, and my hands are going to be moving so you can take a look at what we're doing. We are going to begin with the happy birthday folded card. We're going to work on this one, so it's an actual folded card, and if you notice, we're going to be using all 3 dies. So I unnested my dies and I wanted to show you, because we are going to use all 3 of them. This has got just a little tiny spur right there, so I wanted to show my flush cutter getting right up flush against that and clicking that guy off. So that creates no more metal spurs right there. So that's what the flush cutter helps doing. So I'm going to put that aside so you understand what I did. All of my things are going to be pre-cut. I didn't want the machine to be real noisy into the video. So I'm going to give you guys time to be cutting your things, but just understand that I'm not having my die cut machine out here. It's very noisy, so I didn't want to do that. Okay, so for this particular card, let's take a look at that one more time. We are going to use all 3 dies, which are super fun and easy to use. We've got a stitched, the lace, and then the little tray inside. Now, I'm going to choose this one and this one as a printed pattern. This is going to be my solid color. If you want to mix it up, that's fine, but I'm explaining to you what the sample is going to be. So the tray is going to be my striped color. The center lacy piece is going to be a solid piece, solid cardstock, and then the stitched outline is going to be a polka dot, which obviously corresponds to everything. The other reason why I chose the middle one to be a solid color is sometimes you can't, if it's a real detailed pattern, you can't always see the detail of the lace, and that is such an intricate die. I actually wanted to see the lace, so that's the reason why I picked that to be a solid color. So you're going to cut out 2 patterns and 1 as a solid color. I'll let you guys do that. I'm going to continue on, and we are going to also take our white cardstock that was in the kit. You're going to measure out at 7.5, and then you're going to score at 3 3/4. We're going to cut right here. This piece you're going to put off to the side. We're going to save it because we're going to use it as a title strip. From here to here, we're going to score, like I said, at 3 3/4, because this is going to be the base to your card. I'm going to ink this, and you're going to use the smaller of the 2 happy birthdays, and I'm going to ink this as well. I'm not going to ink anything else, but I'm going to cut right now so we can all either cut together, and I think Jim's going to move the camera to watch me cut. This is not noisy, so I don't mind this, and it's portable. Okay, so that's going to be my title strip. I'm going to use that, so I'm going to put that off to the side. I already pre-measured. I'm at 3 3/4, and I'm going to take my Teflon bone folder, and I'm going to just score along here also, and I'm going to take that aside, and then I'm going to, I like to call it a soft fold. I want to make sure it's going to line up really neatly before I give it a solid fold and then turn around and use my bone folder and give it a hard crease. So I score Do a soft fold to make sure it lines up, because I've had many times where it doesn't line up, and that just frustrates me when I've done a hard crease and then I'm a little off right there, and that's just an irritant. So I do a soft fold, then a harder fold, and crease it with the bone folder. So that becomes our horizontal base, is what we're going to be working with. And then after you cut all these out, we're going to be basically layering this up. So it's going to be a thick, sturdy card also. So I'm going to take my darkest ink right now, and sometimes I like to use the ink pad, and sometimes I like to use my finger dauber. This particular card, I'm going to hold the ink pad and I'm going to ink up the edges. The next one, I'll use the finger dauber. And I am going to go all the way around. I'm going to do the whole inking. So I get a nice little base right there. Okay, so that guy is all inked up. And remember, sometimes you can take a piece of paper and go like this and rub all the edges off just to make sure it's completely dry. So that is our base. It's up and folded, right, and ready to go. Now what is next? I'm going to move the guys out of the way so they don't scratch my lovely background paper right here. We are going to layer this onto the card. We're going to layer this on top of that. That is going to be on top of that, which is going to be on top of that, and then happy birthday is going on top of that. I'll ink happy birthday in just a minute. So let's assemble our card. Now, one other reason I wanted to show you, I picked a smaller type of basic print for what I was going on here. If I pick a larger print, which I absolutely love this paper, and it was just stressful to try and pick it out. If I go ahead and layer this, let me turn like this. If I layer, which I love that paper, if I layer that, I barely get to see any of that paper, and we love printed paper for that reason. So you could choose a larger pattern like that and put a smaller piece right there so the background actually shows. But because I'm actually layering this up, I chose to do a pattern that you're still going to see, but I don't feel like I lost the paper because of me hiding it between other layers. So I'm going to take my tape runner. I'm doing little short, sometimes the longer ones, I get frustrated with that, so I like little short pieces. And then I'm a big eyeballer. I'm not measuring, and sometimes it comes out crooked, but you know, everything's handmade. Okay, layer one is down on top of the card. Now we are going to tape runner number 2. Again, I'm a big eyeballer. And sometimes the dots are really good to line up with. All right, this middle piece I think is really fun, multiple reasons. It's just really pretty and feminine. We all like that. It's got a nice lace look, but the holes are deep enough where you could flow some nice fun ribbon, some twine or anything in that. So if you made this a card that possibly went this way, you could do a couple of pieces right here, tie a bow and let them drip. So just an FYI on that one. All right, so we've got our solid base, we've got our print, we've got our centerpiece, and now I call that the tray. It just looks like a tray. You could turn this over, but the stitching is a right and a, I don't want to say right and wrong side, but kind of. So you could flip it over, but it's a lighter stitching, but if you flip it like that, that's what it was designed the way I cut it. So I'm going to keep with the cutting the same side that I actually did, but you could flip your paper over because the pretty flowers would show up nicely too. All right, so I'm going to eyeball this guy and pop that in. So we are layered up right now. And then I need to, I'm gonna bring this back in because my happy birthday, I cut it, but it's a little bit on the wonky side, so it's not really straight. So I need to go back and fix that. And I know I'm on an angle because I messed mine up. Oh, that's worse. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to fix it. So I am going to be happy birthday. I'm going to be a little off on that one, but I am going to ink it anyway. My sample is much more cut evenly and correct, but you know, there's no mistakes in crafting. Only opportunities to embellish, right? Jim's trying not to laugh. Okay, so my sample is showing flat, but I'm actually going to pop this one up. It's up to you. I thought we would use more squares. I like to use some of the foam dots sometimes. So we're gonna pop one right here, one in the middle for stability, and then one right there. Move those little trash parts away. Bing. Okay. And then I'm going to, again, eyeball it, even though it's crooked. No judging, remember. All right, so that one is almost done. Now, if you go ahead and get your embellishment piece out, these have a nice gumdrop top. It's assorted colors, so they all have a nice frosty look to them. They are connected by an individual or invisible line right there. So I want 2 individual pieces, so I am trimming in between. You can put more on, but right now I'm only going to put 2. At the end, you guys will have a couple extras left. So I'm going to put 2, one there and one there, just to give a little embellishment woohoo on this. A very simple card with very little embellishment for a minimalist look. So, okay, your happy birthday horizontal card opening, whoop, sticky just fell off, that wasn't good, well, that one's not going to stick on me. That one is all complete. All right, we're gonna flip our supplies and get ready to make the chipboard Enjoy the Journey card. So get ready. All right, we are going to get ready to make the Enjoy the Journey flat card. This one's not folded, so I also forgot to tell you to cut out one of the springs. I was being a little forgetful there. Okay, so we're going to get ready to use this card. So you want to get your chipboard out, you want to get your cuts that you did. We're also going to use the larger die and the tray die. So we're going to use both of these guys. This is going to be a print, this is going to be a solid. That's how I'm going to lay it out, and I'm going to explain to you why. So those are the 2 colors I'm going to use. Now, I'll explain to you what size we're going to cut this at the moment, because you got 2 options. But I'm using a print on purpose and a solid color on purpose. I want the print to bring some color and some life, because that's also going to pop off of it, because we're going to make it a 3D element. But the solid color, in a way, you don't see it. You kind of see it, but you don't see it, because it helps bring and highlight, it helps bring your eye to the other things, as well as solidifies what is popping off of it. So it makes that bounce off of it, so kind of pop off of it. So it's kind of weird that you see it, but you're not focused on this. I feel like you look at the print and you look at this guy, which that was very intentional. You can switch it if you want. You can play with how you guys want to do it, but this is what I'm going to do in the sample. So I'm going to put this guy off to the side. Go ahead and run your print through the large die and a solid color through the middle tray die. And I'm going to put those dies aside right now, so you guys can work on that. And I'm going to put this to the side as well. And then your chipboard, this is going to be the base of your card. So I already pre-cut mine. You get, it's 8.5 by 11. You want to turn it on its side, and you want to measure 4 inches out. Now, you can measure 4 inches out if you want it as a larger card. I'm doing that on purpose because I like this chipboard. I want that to be seen because it's a nice stable base. It's also going to fit in an envelope. There's 2 different templates we'll talk about at the end. If you want it just a little bit closer, that's completely up to you. You want to maybe do 3 3/4. If you do 3 1/2, it's going to get really tight with everything, but that is again up to you. The sample is done at 4 inches, so that one's already cut. So I just wanted to explain why I'm using a little bit larger, as well as you can choose 2 different sizes. So I'm going to turn that off to the side right now. And then the other thing we're going to do is cut out one of the bicycles. So in just a moment, I'm going to fussy cut this guy out. And yes, I'm going to do it while you guys watch. And then I've got, well, that's backwards. Enjoy the Journey, and then a spring. It's up to you which one you want to do. And now you can cut Enjoy the, and you can leave it as one piece. When I lay out my cards, I like a lot of staggering because this is leaning off of the print and coming off right here. It's on an angle. This is straight up and it's Pop 3D. This is going to be flat. I'm going to repeat this, but you could pop these guys up with foam dots. This is going to be, you could pop that up. You could turn that on an angle. You could take Enjoy the and cut that if you want, but the little swing from the H is connecting. So I'm going to choose to leave it as one piece, but you can certainly cut around that to give it a little bit more eye movement. But I put things at an angle on purpose to make your eye travel throughout the card. So just giving you a little bit of aesthetics as to why that's how I lay out my cards. So, okay, I'm going to put that guy off to the side. Enjoy the Journey and Spring. I'm going to all ink right now because it's going to be the only thing that I ink. And I'm going to do the dauber next time because I forgot to go get one out. So I'm going to have to put things on a pause. So I'm going to ink Spring. And I cut these out a little bit better this time. I'm going to ink Journey. And then I'm going to ink Enjoy the. Kind of did that backwards now, did I? I like inking sometimes because it gives like lots of dimension, and then sometimes I don't like to ink. So it's really kind of a mood thing, wouldn't you say? All right, Enjoy the Journey and Spring are all inked right now, and they're pretty well dry. So while you guys are cutting, I'm going to cut also, and we're going to fussy cut this guy out. Now, my sample, I did really, really close. I took a lot of time to do that. So I'm going to do it in a little bit larger cuts this time. And then I didn't explain to you guys, but I'm going to go over here because I like to... My neighbors are... Sorry if that's a distractor, but my neighbors are doing their yard right now and it's a little noisy outside, so I might have to talk a little bit louder. So later on, I'm going to take clear Winkostella and give a little bit of life, glittery life to those butterflies and flowers that are coming out of that basket because, well, actually they're all flowers. So I'm going to take this and continue fussy cutting and get that guy all cut out so we get some fun 3D cut. And then you guys have an extra bicycle that you can do whatever you'd like with. If you want to make another card, you can certainly put this in your layouts also if you like, but it's always fun to be mailing cards out given we are working on card making today. All right, so now I'm going to come back in and do a little trimming. I like to cut the bigger pieces out first and then go back in and do the little because I feel like you can hold it a little bit easier. And then let's get in there. Now, if I wasn't filming this, I would take just a tad bit more time. But I don't know that you guys really want to see me cut every little corner. But I'm giving you guys time to do some fussy cutting in case you did not prepare a couple of days before that. So in my sample, I have that guy cut out too. So let's kind of clean that up a little bit because that could be a little bit better. And then if you really want to get daring, you could cut in between there, but I'm not going to be that daring. So, okay, let's move our little samples aside, and I'm going to put that guy right there. Now that we've, oh boy, this is going to bug me. Jim is laughing because while I might eyeball stuff, there's certain things I'm very particular on, and that's, I guess, the type A personality I have, but that little thing just bugged me. In fact, that's still going to bug me, but you know what? I can relax and let it go. That's what 2021 is all about, right? Letting it go and doing new projects. Oh, that's still going to bug me. Okay, so we've got our base, whichever size that you chose, and then again, we are going to be doing a simple layering up. So we are going to start with the polka dot piece. Again, I could do that one, but I'm not going to right now, but I'm gonna have to find something else to work on that one for. So I'm going to just put a couple of lines down, and yes, I'm gonna eyeball it. one more time and do that. And I'm doing it upside down too, so that takes a little bit of talent. Okay, and then that guy's going to go in the middle because it's going to center my eyeballs for when we go and layer up everything else. So we're going to put some of that guy down. That one's going to be layered up. Now you can certainly put foam underneath this one if you feel like you want it raised. I'm only, for the sample, I'm going to do, for what we're doing, I'm going to foam up and layer up the bicycle. So that is going to be what I'm going to do. Now, the other thing is I'm going to lay this out right here on exactly what type of angle I want. I do want a little bit of the bicycle rim to go over the printed and onto this. It's a little catty corner, but I want that look because I want multiple dimensions on that. And then I'm going to take a look at this and see where I want that. See, I could actually even tuck that in right there where the sample I did not, because I just thought about that right now. But I'm trying to keep within the frame so I can still mail it and nothing is sticking outside of the frame. So this is acting as my base. So you could put it over that, or you could certainly pull that back in there. Journey could be a little bit more here so it connects, so you get to see the little corners on that. And then I'm choosing Spring to be straight ahead because I want it to be a little bit like that, kind of like you're driving it into the parking lot, your bicycle. So that is how I'm going to lay that out. So I'm going to take Enjoy the Journey right now. And I like to lay it out so I know what my spacing is also. I'm going to shift that, see? If I sometimes get going and just start gluing, then it's like, well, shoot, now my bike is too far over. So, so this guy, I'm going to just tuck right in here. I'm going to make sure it fits so it doesn't completely come over. So that guy's going. Now with this, you could also, I did do that. You could also come over just a little bit more, but then you'd have to space that out. So that's why I chose to layer it out, because it looks like there's 1, 2, 3. You actually see all 4 layers right there. Yes, sometimes I am that picky. And then Enjoy the Journey. Maybe that guy is going to be a little bit closer right there so I could see the edge of it. And then I'm going to do Spring. I'm going to do Spring right there. Okay, now I know exactly where my placement is for that guy. So I'm going to turn that over. We're going to go back to the foam pieces, whatever foam, dots, rolls. If you don't want to foam it up, that's perfectly acceptable also. You get to do your bicycle however you'd like to do that. So let's put those pieces off to the side so they don't do that. So we want this to stick. Okay, so that guy, now again, I'm just double checking before I put it down to make sure the visual space is all okay. So now that guy is leaning a little bit over the printed onto here. That one's got a nice space. There's a nice plenty of space right here, so you get to see all of the colors. And then you get to take your little gumdrops, and we're going to do 3 different spots. I'm going to put mine right here, and right here, because I just want a teeny tiny twinkle on here. And again, you got to cut those because of the invisible line. And last one, mine didn't stick, so just be careful how you peel them off, because I think I undid the glue on one of them. But again, you have a handful of extras left. So, and then you can mix up your colors. I just picked them in let's put that guy right there. I picked them in the row that they came, but you guys can pick which colors you want where. Because normally I would not put 2 yellows on here because I wouldn't want that same thing going on. But okay, your flat Enjoy the Journey card, that would be the sample. That's the one that we just made. And then we are going to get ready to make our title strip next. Okay, we are going to move on to our title strip piece. So Jim's going to tilt the camera so you guys can see what we're going to do. And come on over. We are going to only use 1 die on this one. This is going to be the center, and it's going to be the tray. as you can see. Now, if you want to do it two printed or a different color, that's completely up to you. You are going to use the leftover piece from your base. So that's what I started with. It's up to you if you'd like to do that, but that's what I did. So that becomes going through the die cut machine and I call it the tray. So your tray base. So go ahead and cut out whatever you'd like with that. The white one is what I did. Now your inside piece, that is the printed color that I did right there. This is not going to go through a die cut machine. You're going to cut out a 1 5/16 by 5 3/16. It's in your project sheets too, so you, if you're a little funny about that. That happens to fit exactly inside of the tray right there, and it kind of meets up with the corner right there, so it creates a line right there and right there, so it creates a line as well. So again, that is 1 5/16 by 5 3/16. You're going to run either a printed or a different color paper than the white that's provided. We're going to work off the white, so we ran that through the machine. I already pre-cut this guy out. So you're going to use your other happy birthday, and then I'm going to ink that while you guys are cutting it out, and then it's got ink on me. So I'm going to ink that again in a different color, but a different color blue-ish, turquoise-ish, that kind of matches my polka dots. So I'm going to go ahead and ink a happy birthday. So that guy's all inked up, and then I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of my polka dot, and then yes, I'm going to eyeball it, but I'm going to be very careful because I do want it to line up. This one I'm being a little bit more particular on, but I'm still eyeballing it. Alright, so that guy is going to go just a little bit more in, and there you go. Alright, so you could ink that guy as a darker color if you'd like, and I think it's a little off. Well, guess what? That's just the way it's going to have to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my tape runner on that guy, and I'm going to center it the best I can right there. And then you could also pop that on pop dots if you want. You can use this for another card. You can go ahead and use it as part of a title strip somewhere if you'd like on your layout pages or any sort of embellishments. Now I'm going to put a rhinestone right there and a rhinestone right there. And then I picked two of the different colors because I actually want two colors, not just the clear on the particular strip. So I'm glad those were the ends. So I'm going to put a blue. I'm going to put the blue down here. And then, these little guys are a little bit of a challenge. And I'm going to put the purple up there. Okay, so there's your title strip. There is our sample, and then there's the one we just made. And all I did differently, well, aside from a little bit of uneven cutting, is swap our color. So our blue rhinestone's down there, and our purple rhinestone is right there. All right, we are going to flip our table real quick and get ready for the last little gift enclosure piece. Okay, we are ready to work on our gift enclosure piece, and it will hold a gift card too if you would like to do that. But this is the piece that we're going to do right now. I just have a little simple tea bag in there, but think about a little chocolate candy or a gift card or something you can do little with that. All right, so we're going to use the middle lacy die. That's the die we're going to use. I just chose a solid color because, again, I want to see the lace, and then I chose a printed piece. So you're going to, if you want to do a reverse, that's completely up to you, or you want to do two prints, that's completely up to you as well. So go ahead and run a piece through the machine so you get a piece to be working with. And then that's the piece we are going to work with. And then you're going to want to cut out a 1 1/4 by 8 1/2 sheet strip, because we are going to glue this down and connect the piece together. And then I'm not going to ink this guy or this guy, but you should have your Hello Spring cut out. I am going to ink that guy. And then that's the only thing we're going to ink. So my sample also shows, I'm going to talk for a few minutes while you guys want to cut. So my sample also shows where I hole punched right here and then did some twine. So I have some twine. That's showing it to you, but I'm actually on the sample, I'm just going to glue that together because you could put a nice fun sticker over it. You could just glue it so it doesn't have a finished piece like that. My sample shows it, but the one we're going to do, I'm just going to glue the top. Now, while I'm talking and while you're cutting, you could always cut out the middle tray section also, and then cut a piece out and fold that as part of another layer of decor, as well as a strip. So the strip would go elongated, so you get 2 layers. We're just going to do the 2 right now. You could also do this piece on top of this, or this piece on top of this piece on top of the tray, as well as a strip, and fold the whole thing in half. So again, layering is really fun. Again, this die, I just love it because of the layering, and each piece is so different, but they work nicely together. So while you are continuing to cut and possibly ink, I'm going to ink up the Hello Spring. I'm doing it a little bit darker because I do want it to bounce and really pop off of what I'm going to do right there. So Hello Spring is all inked up, and then running that particular piece through the machine. So I'm going to fold this. I'm not going to do a scoring, but I'm going to line up the lace, and then I'm going to drag my finger down here, and I kept my finger right there. So I'm going to grab my bone folder again one more time and just do a hard seal on that one, or a hard crease. So that guy's ready to go. Now, like I said earlier, let me turn that around your way. You could be weaving a little bit of thread in there, some of the thinner twine, some ribbon, some nice flowy ribbon in there, and finish that piece off. You could do a little bit through there. The holes are pretty sturdy in order to do that. All right, so then my next, what I'm going to do is basically fold this guy in half, do the same thing, crease it, and then do a harder crease so it's solid right there. So folding this exactly in half, that exactly in half, and then I just want to line that up before I hit the glue runner. I was going to say glue gun, but we're not glue gunning. We're doing the glue runner. So this guy lines up exactly how I would like it to. So the way I'm going to do that is open that guy up, and I'm going to do a line right here so that becomes solid, and then I'm going to flip that guy over and do the same thing right there so I don't take it off and mess it up, because I know somehow in the folding process I would probably not get that right. So I'm not going to punch my hole right, oh dear, but there you go. See what I just did? Okay, so that guy is all on one piece right now, and it's in folded mode. So I'm not going to punch the hole like I said, but let's go ahead and adhere the spring. And then if you notice, yes, I did put it on an angle. You could go straight if you want, but I like to do things on a little bit as an angle, so I'm going to do that. And I'm just matching up my corners just a little bit. You could do more of an angle if you want. And then I'm going to take my little embellishment. Now you do have a couple of pieces left, so I didn't want the clear, I actually wanted a color. So I'm digging through the middle of my strip, and then I'm going to get that clear color, and right now I'm just going to put it as the eye, so the spring is dotted with that guy. Now you can go ahead and certainly put something in there and then seal it right here, which I'm going to do, and put a little bit. You can do that, or you can choose to put something else like a little sticker or another type of embellishment right there. You can certainly cut a hole in there also and string your twine or some sort of ribbon in there, but you just made a quick little gift enclosure, gift card enclosure, or like the tea bag or whatnot. So I'm going to have Jim pull back just a little bit. So I'm going to show you, that was our sample, that's the one we just made. This was our sample, and that's the one that we just made together. And then this was the sample, and this was the one we just made together. This was our sample. This was the one we just made together. Now, how would you mail these? So I wanted to just take a moment to explain to you guys the envelope templates. We sell these online. Some of you guys might have them, but I'm going to start with the traditional envelope template that is a Slimline. So it is a 4 by 8 size. So I cut that guy out. So you just have to do your tape runner. I chose solid paper right now because I wanted to actually do a washi tape on that one. But let me, I'm going to tape runner these. Oh shoot, I'm getting myself all out of order. I'm going to tape runner these up real quick because I wanted to show you. Just keep the camera right there. So that guy fits perfectly. That one's ready to mail. Now, remember when I explained I made this one just a little bit thicker? I did it on purpose because the diagalope will take a larger size, as well as if you've got some sort of puff 3D element, think about flowers or something larger that you need just a little bit of wiggle room or larger shaker cards. So again, I cut this guy out. So I'm going to run my tape runner. Wow, that was a way overshot. And then I did cardstock because I wanted it to, a really thick cardstock because I wanted it to match there. But I wanted to show you that the larger card can fit into the diagalope, and then you got a little bit of puff room right there. And then that is ready to go on its way. So, okay, you guys, I hope you had a great day learning all types of projects. And I just wanted to say, what else can you do? This die is one of my favorites because you got 3 distinct pieces you can use. They work all well together. So what is your challenge on how many things you guys can make with that? So I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy your projects and go make more. See you next time. Hi, I'm Kim from Tall Mouse Creative Arts and welcome back. Thank you for participating and watching the Mega Make and Take. I hope you really enjoyed all of your projects, and I hope you enjoy the die because that, again, is one of my fun ones that I just absolutely love. And speaking of dies, okay, we got more Skinny Jim Slimline dies. That's all I'm going to show you. You guys get first dibs off that, so I'm super excited. Some I have samples, some I just have the cutout so you guys can see it, but again, you guys get first dibs on it. So let's get to the good stuff. Okay, Jim's gonna come on down and take a look, and we will start with the railroads. These are just super cute and super fun. So it is a pack of 3. You get a straight line, you get a railroad, and then you get a curvy line also. That's what that guy's going to look like. And then remember, you can always use just half of the die. This particular one, I just cut out half of it. So you could do that half on one side, that half on the other, and use that strip as part of the card and make it look like a larger railroad. So this has got lots of versatility to it, lots of fun as well. This one, I don't know what, I just about came unglued with it. I just love it. I love all these little squiggly lines. Take a look at this particular die in particular. Look at that fun squiggle. Yes, it's a stitched. So I did all these little cutouts. I cut out every single piece that this die comes with. Get your large piece. You can layer that up as many times as you want. Oh, bad side I just did on that. Look how fun that is. You got another piece, you got this particular layer, little banner, and then this banner. So this one is super fun, and you get a lot of nested pieces in there. So I want to show you the samples that I did. Let's show you the one with less layers. So this one, I took just this particular die and did that right there. A pattern, and then a little piece and a little accent right there. Oh, and then I cut out another little piece, not with the die cut, and then this one I took more time and really layered that up. So I used the outside piece, definitely used that piece. I used the inside piece, squiggly line. I'm going to call that the squiggly line. I used the smaller squiggly line, and then I used the teeny tiny banner. So I just noticed I did not glue the ends of it, but it happened to pop up like that. Well, I did glue it, it didn't stick. But you know what? Never mind. I did that on purpose. See how it's popping up? just teasing, guys. I really meant to glue that down, but it popped up and looked nice. So that's what it looks like, all layered up. I just think this die, oh, I think it's going to be one of my new favorites. I don't know, something about the squiggle lines look like a lot of fun. And then if you come down to this guy, this is a set of waves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 6 set of nested waves. You get nice, large breaking shore waves. You get squiggly lines, some softer waves. So each one of these are cut out. But then I took this particular die and just cut out the edge so I could have that entire piece, Skinny Jim Slimline card, be just a nice soft edge on it. So that is the waves. Lots of fun with this one. And then, oh my gosh, take a look at this guy. This one is 2 tags. So it's 2 distinct tags, and then you get a little set of flowers in there because who doesn't love flowers? So that's what those guys look like. And then I cut out a bunch of different colorful flowers, and then I turned one into a sample where I doubled up on the flowers and put a nice large rhinestone right there and then tied it off with some twine. So, oh, I just think this one's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, it's got the scalloped edge, which is super cute right there. Nice, fun scallops, which, I don't know, it just kind of softens everything. And then, oh, let's come over to here. So this one, I feel like it reminds me of a Nordic sweater. The design on a nice fun sweater. So I cut it out in 2 different colors, the light so you could possibly see all the design that's embossed in there, and then I did do a sample with it and I cut it out twice. This is a charcoal card, a real dark piece of paper, dark charcoal base. I cut it out in a light gray and I cut it out again and pulled it out as a stripe. Basically I just cut it down the middle so I could call out the stripe, and then we've got a new birthday wishes die on it too. I felt like it could be a masculine type of card. So that one's quite fun. That one's called Nordic Sweater. Oh, put that. Jim's telling me to move it so I can see the die. So lots of detail on that particular one. And then coming up here, okay, so this has got another ruffly lace. It's 2 different dies, but if you notice when they cut out, this will be a cut and then that will be a cut, and then the inside piece, oh, my nails, the inside piece will be a die. So that's actually going to cut out 3 different pieces, which it's easier to see on dark paper. So that is the outside, that would be the inside piece. You want to take a look at that guy right there. And then that is the inside piece. So you could move that guy and do that and make it look like a border. You could skip that guy altogether, skip that guy and use that one. So you're getting several cuts on that. And then I did this as a sample right here. So it's a little bit 1 color, 2 color, 3 colors. I used the smaller die right there, cut this out, and then this and that are the same piece. That one I just turned upside down, so it's all coordinating, but it kind of makes your eye go, whoa, what just happened? So that's just one of the dies that I used. So this is a new die, and then, okay, take a look over here. We got a couple more dies. Oh, it's like Christmas in February. I love it. Okay, so these are interesting on their own because they're strips that cut out as units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got a pack of 6. So when this one cuts out, you're going to get a complete edge on that. So you could layer that up. You could go ahead and add that multiple layers back and forth. Think about that one going, back and forth like that. So these cut out as an individual piece, which is kind of cool. And then I layered them all up and cut them out as just a group to see. But those are very interesting on their own, and then you can chop them off at any size, so you could turn those into an A2 card edge also. Okay, another die. This is a nested set as well. Looks like that. And again, this is going to cut out in 2 different pieces. So I'm going to pull out just the very edge of that. I did not do a sample yet on this one. Everything's on the website too, but that's going to be the very edge. So while you're getting a couple of pieces, 3 large ones, each one cuts out twice. So 2, 4, 6, it's like having 6 dies within one, and then you've got some other little edges right there. Totally fun. And then remember your inner space too, because that can cut out and you can certainly use that and go ahead and layer up. Oh, here's that. Here's the piece I wanted to show you too. That would be the inside of that. You'll get 1, 2, 3 cuts off of that. Totally cute. And again, ruffles and laces. And then we've got one that I believe it's 11 or 13. I can't really remember. This one, you get all those pieces. Now, I left it nested and I cut the whole unit out, but definitely you can separate these all out so you get multiple sizes of rectangles. Just a plain, no stitching on that one. And then we've got a new set of tags. It's a triple piece, but every piece can cut out the individual piece as well as the rim around it. So that will cut out the trim, and this will cut out the inside piece. So you're getting basically 6 pieces off of those dies. And then our last one we have, I feel like it looks like a plaid. I don't really know what to do with that one yet, but I just had to have that too. So that's what that guy looks like. No sample yet, but I kind of feel like it's got a masculine fun look or a gingham look to it. So maybe an Easter basket. Okay guys, you guys get first dibs like I said. We still have our bundle deal. 4 for $58, and they ship for free, and then these can be included on that. But anything else that's on the website, you guys are going to get 25% off. Regularly priced products. Use code HELLO25, all caps, and run it together. Our website, free shipping over $59. The sale is valid until February 19th. Like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and then you guys enjoy the rest of your day and happy crafting.